Mic check 1, 2, 3. What's happening, people? Your boy VicDamoane in the building. All right. About to get it in again. Shout out to all my people. All right. You know, I got a little to say. If not a lot. Sometimes I have a lot to say. And people only listen for a little. But hey, we're going to keep this shit smoking. Okay? Dropping these hot topics. Your boy VicDamoane in the building. Late night. Super late night. All right? We don't really do these late night shows a whole lot. All right? And in fact, we're going to come to a close on these late night shows. We're going to go back to doing the shows in the daytime. All right? And calling shit straight down the middle. Okay? So with that being said, welcome. All right? To your boy VicDamoane. Live and direct. What up, Redface? I see you, homie. All right? Because every show we do over here, nothing but yeah. All right? Hot shows. Fire. All right? And today, man, I figured I said, you know what I'm saying? We're going to cut into something that, I don't really hear a whole lot of people talking about right now. And, that's the condition of, these Houston people. Like, what's the next step? I seen a whole lot of churches today, and, they were actually trying to help people, but at the same time, they were running out of resources, almost immediately. Because even with one church is not going to feed the whole goddamn city of Houston. All right. There were a lot of people that were still stranded. There were a lot of people that could not move. All right. I want to send my prayers and condolences to all of those people. Okay. That I was able to contact and have a small conversation with them, trying to get their mind, a little settled. But I mean, there's no settling in something like this. I mean, this is like extremely damaging. And then you have Port Arthur, Texas, and Port Arthur, Texas is like even more like damaged than I would say Houston. I mean, Port Arthur is, I would say, like a black neighborhood, from what I can tell. Because every video that I see coming from Port Arthur, I don't see anything but black people. Whether they're in the Walmart, okay? And then they're telling people over and over again, just stick around, just stay and, wait it out. And it's like, what are they waiting for? Okay, this water goes down, and then what? I mean, you're gonna have the bugs and everything else come right after that. I mean, this area is a total disaster. And you have like certain people that say, well, we're just gonna stick around and stay, but it's like like the economy in that whole area has been affected. So it's like, what are people staying for? I mean, you don't want to really abandon your property. I get that. But look at the condition that it's in. And, they've already made claims that said it might be years. Yep, what's happening, sweet Gemini? It might be years before they honestly even get that place back in order. Okay, so imagine, all right, people, losing their cars, losing everything. And then you turn around and tell me that the only thing I got waiting on me is a damn FEMA check. So what do I got to do until then? I mean, if anything, we talk about welfare and government assistance programs. Well, this would be the perfect time to implement something like that now, wouldn't it? I mean, like, once they know how many people are displaced, it should be simple. At least I would think. It would be something that we say, okay, we're looking at close to what? Over 500,000 people. And people were making simple requests, mainly for food to feed your children. I mean, like that shouldn't be that much to ask. But you're in a situation where even if somebody wanted to really bring something to you, hell, they're going to have to take it by boat. I mean, here's a situation where all your value really doesn't amount to anything. I mean, businesses. I mean, the whole area just affected, man. And I've pretty much been watching them on and off all day. Just to see if I was to see someone remotely close, that was streaming yesterday, that'd be possibly streaming today. And you have some people that, like I said, they just, I don't know, they decided to sit in their house and, wait it out per se. But, I mean, that's something I don't think I would be waiting out. I mean, you had areas, even from what I heard from Chucky, that the water was fucking, 10 feet deep. And I'm like, my God. 10 feet deep, people. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you had people that were, going for their animals and, you know what I'm saying, trying to feed their kids. And like I said, it was just, extremely sad to see that many people suffering at one time. And it wasn't even the fact that, I mean, because at first, I'm thinking to myself, like, what are these people planning on doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you plan on hitting licks, but, it was just like the whole goddamn place was underwater. You know? I mean, like, in a desperate time like that, that would scare me because, you know, um, it would push some people into a savage mode. You know what I'm saying? Some people would go totally savage at that point. Now, I don't know if I can get an update, but I'll try. Hold on. Because I've been, like I said, checking on them all day, pretty much. Because the one thing I hope is that they don't have to get hit with any more rain. I hope they didn't got to the last stages of their rain and they don't have to deal with that anymore. Let me see here. Add a location. Okay. Well, now the funny thing is the temperature is at 73 right now, but they're going to go into the 90s. Tomorrow. And another but flood warnings. Wow. All right. Somebody said you made that chick put her shit on private. Oh man. Sweet Gemini, you never told me who you was addressing that day on Redface's show. I believe that was Redface show because you was going in on somebody. And I fucked around and called out the wrong name. Yeah, we all want to know who you was talking about, girl. We all trying to be nosy. That's right. You know, we all trying to be nosy, Gemini. Okay. Oh. Hey. So you was talking about missing that honey. I can't just fix the chat room so we can see you guys better. 'Cause that's a little weird. I don't know why. Cut off the bottom. But I know I can fix that. See the bird. There we go. There we go. And icons out. see everybody's shit. Yeah. Shrink that a little bit on my head. Yeah, we're getting there. All right. See, Vic never got blamed for no DQ night. Oh, because no DQ night already had its, set up alerts, man. See, no DQ night, I didn't have no issues with that because, I established the rules off rip. Wow. You feel what I'm saying? You establish that shit in the beginning, man. You establish that shit in the beginning, you'll never have any issues. See, I ain't mind any of my ladies cussing somebody out. I don't mind. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, Gemini's got to go down, right? Like I said, I don't really know what was did or what was said. But girl ain't no damn liar. Anybody, man. I don't care. I look at it like this. Oh yeah. You know, with these clowns, I'm not going to I ain't gonna hold nobody up, man. That's for real, bro. We'll sit up and say, you know what, let's not talk about this. Let's not talk about that. Fuck that, man. Fuck that, man. We're gonna talk about everything under the sun, man. We don't give a damn. And everything outside of that. All right. Now the first thing I gotta bring up to the table is the fact that I saw LA post a video asking if goblins was real or fake. Like Jesus Christ. And he was looking at the video like them motherfuckers was coming out. And I said, damn. Niggas don't believe in the Bible, but they will believe in a goddamn goblin. I done seen it all. I done seen it all. All right. Tyra so damn confused. He don't know what to defend. He don't know whether to go after Tommy or defend Tommy. He don't know what to do. He totally lost. All right. All right. Well, yeah, I guess, Chris, I guess you believe in those goblins too, huh? Well, uh, um, the lady that's, who was that? Milk of Magnesia in the chat room. In the video LA put up, you can see the strings getting pulled on one of the things. And, if anybody paid attention to YouTube or if anybody had, halfway decent memory, um, Slapper would make videos like that all the time. Slapper has a whole collection of videos where he's got those little figures and he's moving them around like the same goddamn way. Utterly insane. People, they just put any old thing up. Desperation. Desperation. They put anything up. Hey, fuck it, man. I gotta upload a video. Well, no, Red, I didn't even download it, man. Like I said, it was just pitiful. Like I said, I'm just calling it out as it comes across my desk. You feel what I'm saying? Shit's literally insane. I said, we got that desperate. The nigga putting up ghost hunter videos from Sci-Fi Network. Like, damn. I ain't knocking nobody what they want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all my standpoint on what I don't believe in. And that is something I definitely do not believe in. Okay? I don't believe in, goblins and ghosts and things like that. I don't believe in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's what's happening, Natty Star. It's nothing, in my opinion, that was ever proven that ghosts were real or goblins and monsters and all that other crap. When we look at certain things, and I always bring this up in the argument of the paranormal per se. In the countries of Syria and various places like France and stuff like that, where people are tortured and hung and wrongfully murdered. You look at the countries like Iraq and Jerusalem and Syria and all these people that were wrongfully murdered in these countries. Not one time has there ever been a report of any of these spirits coming back. Like you look at things like Syria, especially, where they chop people's heads off. They kill people like 30 and 40 people at a time. I mean, you figure out hundred people, getting slaughtered and murdered. Not one fucking ghost pops up. Not one ghost pops up. It's a little strange to me. You feel what I'm saying? Just a little strange to me. You know what I'm saying? It's has a little like factor that nobody is you know what I'm saying, like nobody's like calling that shit out. Like I would like to see someone do like a Ouija board or something like that, like to have a Ouija board and blindfold the people that's on it. Do they ask like they did wow, I got my ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like do a seance over there. All right? That's the whole thing. That's right, bitch. Man. What's wrong with you? All right. But even when I go to those channels, if I go to those channels where they doing like ghost hunting and shit, I always get kicked out. I always get kicked out. Like they do not like me in those rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got um they got like a shitload of uh people that believe in that stuff. Shitload of people believe in that stuff. But look, I'm going to uh you know what I'm saying, turn around and um call people out on that ghost hunting shit. All right. I would like to be convinced, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Ghost Hunters. I am a non-believer in your ghost theory. I do not think that ghosts are real. Okay, I don't. All right, I would love for one of y'all to bring me one of them houses where y'all claim the fucking ghost is at. You feel what I'm saying? And I will spend the night in that bitch. I will crash the fuck out with the ghost, sleep like a motherfucking baby. All right, and wake up the next day. I mean, it's a lot of stuff I don't believe in. Like, I don't really believe in, I don't really believe in, like magic and stuff. Like, with the exception of, the little TV shit. Like, I don't believe in that real, like, magic and stuff like that, man. Wow. You see what I'm saying? But see, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to, that hocus pocus, um, there's no validation of it. I mean, seriously, you can't trust the camera. You know what I'm saying? You really can't. And that's sad. You know what I'm saying? We always got to look for the photoshops. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a lot of shit out here where they'll make a motherfucker look like they, appear in a room and shit. And then them little voice recorder things. Dog, I am not sold on those goddamn voice recorders. They got shit like that for your phone. They got ghost hunting software for your phone. You can use your cell phone and hunt down a ghost. That should really be telling right there. You feel what I'm saying? That should really be telling right there. Okay? You know, that's the thing. Uh-oh. And Redface said he saw a ghost open the door and turn on some water. All right? See, I'm going to chop that up to a backdraft and a loose screw in the plumbing. All right? That's what I'm going to chop that up to. Sorry, Red. Yeah, man. I'm not sold on the ghost theory. All right? Because that would mean that the dead could come back to life. That's what that would mean, basically. It would mean that the dead had the ability to come back to life. All right? Wow. All right. Somebody said being a ghost is not life. Well, no, I'm saying like the only thing you hear about, like as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to ghosts, is like things that you hear other people say. But I look at it like this: even when it comes to contacting ghosts and things like that, you would think it'd be like one method. It's like you have all these people come up with, damn, Natty just threw me off. You said you don't drink, smoke, or have sex. Wow. So, am I going to guess that you're saving it? You're saving all that good loving, girl? Is that what's going on? I can dig it. She said, look, I'm saving it. Nigga ain't going to be jumping on me. All right? All I'm saying is, if y'all got proof of a ghost, only thing I would like is for y'all to take me to that spot. That's all. Please take me to where you saw this ghost at. Because I want to see the motherfucker too. I would like to see this ghost that y'all saw. That way I can at least give a little validation. I want to believe that, you know, that's what it is. Okay? I would like to believe that. But I just don't see anything that validates the story. I mean, if a ghost was gonna come back, we should see like the ghost of Malcolm X. Okay? Where is the ghost of Huey P. Newton? You know? These supposed to be ghosts, right? I'm just saying. The ghosts is supposed to be coming out. Where the hell are they? All right. Why we don't have the ghost, like, you know what I'm saying, of like James Brown? It's a lot of ghosts you would think would have came back. We just saw the ghost of Rick James. You know what I'm saying? Like real, you know, big time ghosts. All right. Well, no. I see Drazen feels like he's some type of celebrity. No, no, man. All right. All right. I would just say that 9 times out of 10, uh, Chris, you were just a one-hit wonder, bro. Yep. You were just a one-hit wonder. All right. All right. Well, she said lust demon. No, see, look, when you say lust demon, I think about, testosterone. That's all. Okay. I'm just saying. Motherfuckers be lusting after some shit. I know when it comes to females, listen, man, when it comes to females and y'all run into that lust situation, like women don't really have lust problems. You know what I'm saying? It's always dudes, man. See, these dudes out here, they're not getting none in the first place. They're not getting anything. So they got to jump on the first thing they come across. So what's that? That's y'all on YouTube. It's a shame females can't even just come and kick it no more without a nigga, you know, seem like he just want to try to get lucky or something. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women on here that do hook up with some of these dudes. All right. And I mean, to each his own. I just look at it as it being a dangerous situation, man, because you never know, you know, what you walking into. See, I was always the type of dude that, like, if I was to like hook up with a female, it's like I had to know a little something about you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be one of those guys that just walked in the room and just started fucking you, like, you know what I'm saying, right off rip. I don't even have a mindset to do that. I mean, real talk. I got to know a little something about you, man. You feel me? I gotta have some type of conversation. It's gotta be something going, you know what I'm saying, going in the right direction. But just like, I just met you off YouTube. Let's go around the corner. See, that's what I would call a lust demon. You know what I'm saying? I guess that would be my best take on that. If I was looking for like that terminology, all right? Because most men, they can psych themselves up. Hold on one second, bro. They can psych themselves up. Yep. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Most dudes, all right, they'll psych themselves up and run in that shit. But man, that's a dangerous game. See, it's on rare occasion that animal attraction kicks in and y'all end up banging on that same night. See, I look at that as a rare occasion. That don't really happen all the time. I mean, I know everybody ain't like me. Oops, wrong shit. I know everybody ain't like me. Cause I promise you, look, you can have those moments where animal instinct kicks in. But like I said before, that is on rare occasions. Very rare occasions, people. Okay? See, I remember this one uh, girl that I met, and you know, funny thing about y'all females, when y'all in y'all early 20s, all right, y'all are like monster freaks. As y'all get to the 30s and 40s, it all depends on dick access. I would say access to the dick. Cause see, the women that got access to the dick, oh yeah, that freak will just go conservative. It'll be you know, casual sex. Let's just bang and hold each other and go our separate ways. All right, lose a little bit of that flame. Fellas know what I'm talking about. Ladies, y'all be sitting back like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, nigga, we shit. I think married couples face that the most, keeping it exciting in the bedroom. Because it was like that first time when y'all was together, you know, y'all just like damn near attacking each other in that motherfucker. Then it just go into, oh, okay, let's just go ahead and knock this shit out the way. You know, it becomes like casual. See, my thing is, you know, try not to keep it casual. Try to have fun with it. See, me, I'm a guy, so I think it's easier for me to keep things interesting. You know, I'm just like one of them, you know, freaky ass niggas. Like I just grab your titty out the blue and you know, squeeze your ass while you in the restaurant or some shit like that in front of people. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think that's like a, you know, just a surprise. Shit you don't expect and shit. You know, you be in the CVS with your husband and shit, and all of a sudden he just start feeling you up right there in front of every goddamn body. You know, it's almost like you know, like a shock to your system. That's some shit you will not expect. Some shit you wouldn't expect. A nigga just all of a sudden grab your ass. You're like, what the hell? Like, I know this nigga done lost his goddamn mind. Grabbing me like that. All right? I said, do my research. I've done my research on the spirit element. I have read And now I am at a point where it's time to take my ass into a haunted house, a legit one. All right? That's where I'm at. Oh, man. That's where I'm at right now, bro. If motherfuckers want to prove to me that uh, all that shit is supposed to be real, all they gonna have to do is invite my ass to one of their little things. Like real talk. That's all they got to do. Invite me to one of your little seances or whatever the hell they do, and let me sit there and record all that shit. All right? That's what I'm saying. Mm. Yeah. I mean, hell, think about this. If spirits are real, I mean, would you think about, uh, you know, like what the hell would you think about after you was dead? I mean, you got to think about. There's a lot of things that we have to consider. All right, once you die, per se. Okay, first of all, you no longer have a connection with your brain, so you don't have any sense of a conscience whatsoever. You don't have a brain. The brain is not functioning. How the hell are you speaking? How can you talk? How can you say anything to anyone if you don't even have a voice? All right. Your vocal cords inside of your throat is what makes you actually speak. So if these things are dead, all of these, physical body functions are dead, it's kind of hard to believe that, they would be functioning after death. It was like there would have to be certain body parts that would have to become undead. People always tell you, well, that's a ghost of somebody, that's a ghost of somebody. But they're not examining every angle of it, man, every aspect of it. I mean, it's just not making sense. Okay? Redface said address that. What am I missing? Redface? Did I miss something? What did I miss? You said something? You said I missed something. What the hell I missed? Tick tock. Tick tock. I guess I won't know, will I? You said about Jesus' resurrection. Oh, well, that's pretty simple, Natty. Jesus was created before man was created. Therefore, the vessel that was killed did not kill Jesus Christ. He is the resurrector. He's the one that in the Bible says that resurrects you into heaven, not back on earth so you could live in your house for the rest of your days. What's up, Big J? Big J, man, give us the word, man. How you doing out there, man, in Texas, man? What's going on? I know your ass in Texas. See, if we look at it from a biblical scale, the Bible only says that there's only one type of spirit that walks on the earth, and those are the fallen angels. There's no such thing as a ghost. There's a big difference there. There's a big difference. The Bible that talks about spirits, it talks about, the spirits that were here before man was created, not some form of spirit that came outside of a man. See, there's a big difference there. Okay? But, you couldn't, talk to Chris or this guy Drazen back up about something like that. He doesn't have a point and he doesn't understand the concept of Jesus Christ. Like I said, I just sat up here and explained that Jesus was created before man. So once again, he's telling you about him dying, which makes no sense. Because how could Jesus die when he was immortal? He never died. But, leave it up to Chris. He'll give you his own narrative, but won't show you any Bible verses to prove what he's saying to be fact. That's why I'm ignoring him. He's a troll. He's not going to say anything validated, so it makes no sense to even address him. But like I said before, if you look at the Bible clearly tells you that the dead are conscious of nothing. That's in the Bible. The dead are conscious of nothing. So it pretty much goes against the whole belief system in a ghost, because this ghost is talking, it's communicating with you, it's doing all of these things and all this stuff, telling you secrets beyond the grave. But nobody ever pays attention to these patterns that you see on local television. Like the ghost, the only thing that motherfucker tells you is it died and its name. That's all the ghosts say. Y'all don't notice that? Every ghost story, that motherfucker just give you his name, a toy that motherfucker played with, and tell you that it died. But no afterlife story, like no one-on-one, Dateline NBC with the goddamn ghost. Why is that? If ghosts were actually real, how come them motherfuckers ain't made it to 60 minutes? All this time? All this time, y'all? How come the ghosts never made it to 60 minutes? That motherfucker ain't never been on the Today Show. Ghost ain't never, been with Regis and Kelly. You ain't seen no ghost on Jerry Springer. It ain't no ghost. A motherfucker that on Maury then got somebody pregnant. All right. What? You know what I'm saying? What happened? I'm for real. It should be a ghost daddy sitting on Maury talking about you are the father. Oh no! All right. I'm just saying, if the ghosts were actually real, I'm just saying they should have made they should have like made it to local television. Shit. Oh damn! Look, they slapping the fuck out of Big J. Well, it ain't me doing it, Big J. It ain't me doing it, man. You got some people in here upset at your ass. You got some people in here upset at your ass. It ain't me though. I don't know what you did, Big J. I don't know what you did, man. Piss these folks off. But see, there's a lot of things that ain't even in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, Easter's not in the Bible. Okay? Even if you look at uh, uh, into in-depth scripture, you'll find out that Jesus actually didn't die on a cross. According to scripture and history, he was actually impaled. Yeah. Okay. The description of Jesus' death in the Bible is a full depiction of him being impaled. Even if you go back, 2,000 years, and you look at uh, the narrative of what they did. Okay, and nowhere in the Bible does it say anything about his arms being extended out, and you know, his hands and feet. No, it talks about him sliding down a torture stake. If you look that up, if you look up a torture stake, you will not get a photo of a cross. Ain't that something? Think about that. All right. All right. It talks about him being hung on a torture stake. Oh man, since we just said your husband is cracking up. So I got him rolling. He must not believe in Jesus. He must not be a Jesus guy. Like I said, I don't mind. I mean, to each his own. To each his own. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it just comes down into an element of, I would say, reveal. You know, see, people have to get to a point where, uh, they would have to go and do some of the research, believe it or not, that I've done in order to remotely even see anything that I am referring to. See, don't get me wrong. I was a person just like everyone else at one point. I didn't believe. Well, not only didn't believe, he said he believes in the Most High, but not Jesus. Oh, okay. See, a lot of people believe that, Sweet Gemini. I mean, that's not the first time I've heard that. Um, what I see, to be honest with you, is people that initially say, well, they believe in God and they don't believe in Jesus. It just goes into a narrative of, you know, um, well, who is your God? You follow what I'm saying? Because at that point, when you separate gods, God has a name. And the way this can be proven is just by our own relationships. Like, everybody on YouTube knows me as pretty much as VicDamoane, right? But if you did not know my name, how could you say that you knew me? If you just say, well, I know a black YouTuber that makes YouTube videos, but you never gave anybody a name, how could anyone ever know who you were talking about? So, it just goes down into distinction. Now, the God that I believe in, or the God that, I would say that I worship, would be the God that's known as God Almighty. He's also known as Allah in some tongues. Some people refer to him as Yahweh, and other people refer to him as Jehovah. But see, that's my God right there. That's the God I believe in. So when that God, my God, told me that this is my son whom I have approved, I took his word for it. I took his word for it, because it wasn't like I was going to all of a sudden say that, well, I believe in God all the way up until this certain this certain point. Like, I believe everything that God said except that, you know? Because only thing Jesus Christ was trying to do was give people a better understanding of who God was. So to just throw Jesus under the bus, I would say you have to do a little bit more research on Jesus Christ, not the narrative that everybody else gives him. She said, why didn't God save Jesus while he was being murdered? Well, first of all, like I said before, Jesus was never murdered. In the Bible, it tells a story that you had Jesus leave heaven and go inside of a vessel of a man. Once he was inside this vessel of a man, his things like eating, like food, like the Bible says that Jesus walked into basically into the woods for a month and 10 days without eating. this was an indication that he was more than human. I mean, think about it. How could a man die on a cross, but he lived for 40 days and 40 nights inside the woods without eating anything? So his death, all right, what you consider, a human death, this wasn't the case when it came to Jesus Christ. If you go into, well, you're not really a believer, but research could show you, and research could show you that even when it came down into the burning bush of Moses, when Moses was talking to the burning bush, that was also Jesus Christ that he was speaking to inside the burning bush. But when it came to the commandments that Moses spoke to God on top of the mountain, at that point the whole mountain would shake every time Moses would hear God speak. But see, people don't really take into account, how could a man die when he was seen walking 3 days later? He couldn't have been dead, right? People assumed that he was dead. People assumed that they had killed him, but you also know that they never found Jesus' body. So why would you assume that he was dead? That's the thing. There's plenty of evidence that shows that Jesus, being the Son of God, that a lot of things that he did on earth was proven to be of supernatural state, like him removing demons and various things like that. See, it amazes me where we have, this belief system in aliens, and we believe in voodoo, and we believe in all these other things, ghosts, just all these other things. But the things that were taken into account, for example, discovery, you still had people that did not want to accept that, even though it was backed up by archaeologists and everyone that studies in that field. It was validated, it was proven. Okay. That's the thing. And to the idiot in the chat room that keeps asking about Easter, he has yet to go and see if the Bible says anything about Easter. That's what, makes him a idiot. And yeah, archaeologists, why don't you go look it up? See, that's why I can't even have a conversation with an idiot, because an idiot won't even go and look up the information, even when it's right there in front of him. He won't even go and look it up. All right. Yeah, if you're asking me, yes, Thang Nugent, I do not believe in the spaceman. No, I don't. I don't believe. I don't believe in the spaceman. Nope. I don't believe that. I don't believe in ET. Okay. Nope. Sure don't. All right. No, no, Drazen. There were other people that discovered it. Like I said, look it up and then make your statement. But I know that you have that really slow internet, so you can't even open up a second screen and just research it. That's too hard for you. But to the people that have common sense, this discovery was made by the Today Show, NBC. They were the ones that actually made the discovery, so the credit should really go to them. All right. The funny thing is, there's more proof of biblical statements and biblical accounts than there is of any aliens being on Earth. All right. That is a fact. That is a fact. Well, to the idiot in the chat room again, the bones of the giants have been discovered. So they've been discovered, they've been destroyed, and the Smithsonian confessed to destroying these bones of the giants. So once again, more research that is out here, more information that's already out here. But like I said, I've said this in prior shows, like, God does not want everybody. So it's not like, it's not like, this guy's going to get, a pass. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on, baby. Well, hey, thing, Nugent, this was my, this was my theory between the dinosaurs and the bones that were discovered. Because the thing that baffled me, right? The thing that baffled me like tremendously was why the hell was the Smithsonian destroying those bones? Like every time they would get like these giant bones, they would destroy them, they would lose them. But you knew they had to run a test to see how old those bones were. Now call me crazy, right? But I believe that the Smithsonian destroyed those bones because they found out how old those bones actually were. And when they found out the age of those bones, I believe it scared the shit out of them. I believe it scared them so bad that initially they had to destroy them because the Smithsonian, from what I understand, that they based their whole meaning of life theory on evolution. And with the discovery of these giant bones, and like I said before, this is pure speculation. I believe that the bones of the giants that they discovered were the same age as the bones of the dinosaurs. And that's what really scared the fuck out of them. Now, this is just a theory, but if we look at the Old Testament pre-flood, right? This was prior to the flood. All right. You would have had these men that the Bible talks about that, lived to be 600 and 700 years old. Well, according to, history and the science part of it, allegedly, some of these Canaanite men were anywhere between 24 and 36 feet tall. So they would be considered giants. And you have to ask yourself, well, if a man was 38, or let's say if a man was 30 feet tall, could he possibly live to be 500 years old? I mean, at that point, your metabolism would be stronger. You would obviously be eating on a much needed environment, like the plants, everything would be like fruitful. And even when it comes down into the structures, of the yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's my theory on it, because when I look at, like I said, Pangea, and the discovery of the 7 continents coming together and becoming one continent all together. Okay, it clearly shows that the most damage that was done on the planet uh, was in the Sahara Desert, where you have Africa. At one point, everyone knows the Sahara Desert at one point was a jungle. It was a forest. So what else would do that but immense water damage? Water damage that, according to the Bible, it rained for 6 months straight. Now, I mean, we keep, trying to ignore the fact that, water could do this much damage to an area if it just rained nonstop for 6 months. But I mean, look how much damage was done in Texas and Louisiana and Port Arthur, all these cities that were damaged by fucking 2 days of rain. 2 days of rain literally have, put them at least 5 to 10 years back. All right, it was the same thing with Hurricane Katrina. These storms would only last for a day, maybe 2 days. All right, at best 5 days. Okay, but what about a storm that would last, anywhere between 150 to 180 days? Okay, we're talking about 6 months of nonstop rain that would destroy any fucking city or state or country at any particular one. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I kind of believe that, because like they said, now here's my thing. Damn, I said his name wrong. Brick Bath. Here's my thing. We have bones discovered of dinosaurs from millions of years ago. We have bones of an ape or gorilla from millions of years ago. Now we get these bones of the giants, and we discover the bones of the giants, and we don't have a date to match up with these bones. And then you have to ask yourself, if a Tyrannosaurus Rex was, 20 feet tall or 30 feet tall, would he be a threat to a group of men that were 25 to 30 feet tall? I mean, if you think about that logically, then the threat would be minimal, because man is over the animals, correct? So they wouldn't wipe us out. And according to the Bible, at one point we all spoke one language. Okay? I'm just saying, if you think about it logically, all right, it makes no sense for the Smithsonian to get fossilized human bones of men that were beyond the like 20 and 25, 30 feet tall, and they just destroy them. It was something that they found out in that test that they didn't like. And at that point, they started getting rid of all that shit. Think about it. The Smithsonian finds bones of the giants. If those bones were predated and they had went back 1,000,000 years, because a fossilized bone of a dinosaur would tell the same story as a fossilized bone of a human. It's going to tell you how old that bone is. So when it came to the human race, why is the world trying to keep this information from us? All right? You would think that out of all these people, especially the Smithsonian, and the Smithsonian, like I said, they're based in evolution and things evolving and not going off Christianity and the Bible altogether. You have the evidence to either shut one side down and make the other side dominant. Therefore, if the Bible is real, these fossilized bones are going to prove it. If the Bible isn't real, these fossilized bones are going to prove it. So if you don't believe in the Bible and you have the proof to make all of this shit say, well, you know what, we got, undeniable proof that, these bones are proving that the Bible is not real, why wouldn't you expose that? See, when you got to hide some shit, that's when things, start to get a little suspect. Like, why are you hiding this? I mean, you got to think about something. All this time, black people were under the impression that the Bible came from a white man. But then we learned through history outside of America that the first church in the world was a black church. A church based in Ethiopia. So when people tell you that the Bible came from a white man, I mean, if we go to history, didn't black people give Jesus Christ to the white man? Because if it wasn't for black people, they would have never known about Jesus Christ, right? Where did the Bible come from? All right, did it come out of Africa? Or did it come from Europe? Because history would tell us that the Bible came out of Africa. And if we look for a change in the wording in the Bible, well, the only thing that we see changed is the name of God being replaced with the word Lord. But that's it. Nothing else. Just strange, right? These discoveries get made, and even as the discoveries are being made, right, you have more and more people that are just going to discredit it. They're going to say, well, no, this ain't real. That ain't real. Well, they lying. And that's the basic or easy way to I would say deny the truth. It's like, show me proof. We bring out the proof, and then as soon as we bring out the proof, oh, that's not proof. What is it then? Well, that ain't proof. Well, if it's not proof, what is it then? I don't know, but that didn't prove anything. So like I said before, certain people, they just ain't gonna go. They just ain't gonna go. You know, the whole thing about Jesus Christ, the Bible talks about Jesus making a heaven directly designed for human beings to go into, a place where they could enter. So that was really it, man. In a nutshell, it wasn't like, you know, you had, you know, like the main heaven where God was in, like you was gonna get into that. No, the Bible says there ain't none of us going into that place at all. But yeah, man, I hear people all the time that tell me they believe in a higher power, Jim. But you know, I always ask them, well, where's the source of your information to the higher power? You know, I mean, can this be researched? Can this be looked up? Can it be examined? Because everybody likes to examine the Bible, but when it's other people's belief system, they never want to put their stuff on the table. But you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, to each his own. But I feel that every single belief system should be challenged. All of them. All of them. Whether you're an atheist, whether you're agnostic, well, I mean, everything should be brought to the table. All right. I mean, my whole thing about evolution is, you know, you can't prove evolution because to this day, man has not evolved. I mean, even when you look at it, I mean, there's no stage of evolution. It's not like man could jump into the water, or we could have 120 men line up side by side next to the ocean, and we all jump into the ocean, and one of us will start breathing underwater. It doesn't work like that. That's movie made. It's not like you can take 1,000 men and 1,000 men, or I got one better for you. Take 1,000 newborns to a rooftop and keep tossing them off the goddamn rooftop, and one of them eventually will grow wings and fly the fuck off. All right, I mean, that makes no sense. Okay, that makes no sense. All right, there's so many levels where you could debunk evolution. Like, I mean, that list goes on and on and on. On and on and on. You know, you see evolution in like insects and things like that, but there's no human form of evolution. All right. I mean, all that shit, motherfuckers be watching them goddamn movies like Lucy. Like, I remember Lucy. A lot of these movies are influential when it comes to science and shit. You know what I'm saying? They do that. They take cheap shots at the Bible. I'll give you a primary example. Lucy was one that took cheap shots at the Bible. Ant-Man. Ant-Man took cheap shots at the Bible when he shrunk himself into an atom form and he went, you know, into the other realm and dimension. um, shows, TV shows. Like believe it or not, I like personally watching the show because I mean I know it's fake, but Supernatural. All right, Supernatural tells a whole lot of lies on the Bible. Like they'll have like 2% facts in there, and then like the other 98% is made up. But when you had shows come out, people didn't even pay attention. You had a show come on Fox called Lucifer. You follow what I'm saying? Shit called Lucifer, and it was about Satan helping people. Oh yeah, now y'all remember? To kind of switch gears a little bit. Y'all remember I played that video of that United States Senate talk about he was going to have Trump impeached? Whatever happened to that guy? I think he should have made it to the White House by now, right? I mean, it was kind of strange. I mean, all we know is 1 minute Trump was about to be impeached. The next minute, a storm is cutting through Texas. I like being observant, so I just so happened to notice that shit, y'all. I was like, that's a little weird. I mean, what if we find out like 20 years later that all these goddamn storms is fucking people up was man-made? Because they ain't hoe us like that, man. What if we found out that all this time these goddamn storms was in control of the goddamn president? Like, he said, shit, I had some shit jump off in Charlottesville. Let's put a hurricane in this bitch. I don't know, man. It's, some, let's say God is preventing you from getting that pussy. Well, no, I wouldn't say he's preventing you. I don't think it was ever meant for you to have. How about that thing? You didn't ever think about it like that. Maybe it was never meant for you to have in the first place. But then, you know, it's like you don't believe in God, but then you want God's help. It just, it don't work like that. I mean, you never thought about it. Like, God might help you get some pussy if you believed in him. But since you don't, you suffer the wrath of Satan. That's how that plays out. To anybody that goes against God, you immediately become like a puppet for Satan. That's how the Bible looks at that. Because if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in Satan. So if that entity, that enemy that you say is not real, if he is real, he's gonna have a goddamn field day with you. All right, real talk. He's gonna have a field day with you. Just like I said before, Job didn't know Satan was attacking him. He thought it was God. That's a two-lane street, y'all. That ain't something that go both ways. I mean, excuse me. I should say it's a one-way street, and it don't really go both ways. Utterly insane. All right. Well, listen, man. They said they wouldn't use the weapon on each other. They say shit about us. Think about that. They'll drop that shit on everybody but us. Yep, real talk. That was the one thing I respected about Michael, man. At the end, Mike couldn't do nothing but keep it real. All right, too much fucked up shit going on here in the world, man. Way too much. Just remember, man, Mike, Prince, these motherfuckers died for telling the goddamn truth. Damn shame. Can't even be honest in America no more, man. You just can't. You were always trying to hold you up. You were always trying to, fuck you over in some way, shape, or form, man. It's crazy out here. But hey, guys, it's about what 3:33 in the morning. All right, I'm gonna have to get up and get with my little girl in the AM. All right, I want to give a shout out to everybody that came and checked out the late night show. All right, kick it with your boy VicDamoane for a hot minute. All right. For those that would like to donate to the shows, the PayPal link is right there in the description box. You can donate either using PayPal, you can go to the website and donate with your debit card or credit card. We got some new movies coming up, so just be on the lookout. We'll be featuring some stuff up on the website. We'll be streaming some movies. All right. And next pay-per-view we'll be all over it like we were like we were the last time. I'm not quite sure if we have any wrestling. Matter of fact, I think in October we have Hell in a Cell coming to Detroit. I'm gonna try to go to that event live if I can and get your guys some live footage of that. Me downtown Detroit. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to all my supporters. I want to give a shout out to everybody that, you know what I'm saying, donates and kicks it with me. All right. You know what I'm saying? Love all y'all. All right, and all y'all little lame ass trolls. I mean, you keep trolling. All right, y'all niggas ain't getting no link. I'm just saying. It's your boy VicDamoane. I will catch up with y'all in a minute. Deuces.